Well, this is a picture of Hulda Clark. She wrote the book The Cure for All Diseases, and I think she got in trouble for saying that type of stuff. She's done some useful work, in my opinion. I just can't stand it when people exaggerate too much. You know, I think she was a good lady. You know, she died of cancer. You know, she supposedly had a way of fixing cancer, but she died of cancer. You know, cancer's a complicated disease. It's not like there's one kind of cancer. There's many, many, many different types of cancers. Some are believed to start from viruses and stuff. Bob Beck, I think his device is far more powerful than a Hulda Clark parasite zapper, by hands down. But her device is still useful. And this video is going to be about Rife frequencies made simple. But it's not simple. So, but it's really designed for, you know, a YouTube audience, I guess, you know, more than that. But I am going to kind of go over something because it took me a long time to find a good Rife frequency chart that explains, you know, where the hell did these frequencies come from? Because boy, it gets complicated. You know, Dr. Royal Rife, he said he had a cure for cancer. Now, I think that guy was 100% legit all the way. I think, you know, I think there's other people I've read, it's kind of in the underground, that have used his machines over the years for real, except there's a lot of people out there that, you know, maybe they know some things, they don't know everything, but there's still a lot of people out there, that know what's going on with Rife. It's the underground, man, I could tell you that. But I'm going to put some simple things out here, and also going to tell you, you know, they're never going to be able to make a Rife machine illegal. You know what? Well, if they make illegal is the word. Now, this is a picture of not Royal Rife, but Hulda Clark, right? What they do is they make the word illegal. That's what's going on. Because the machines that Rife used, and he didn't use this exactly. He did some other stuff with vacuum tubes and, you know, all this other junk, you know. But basically, it's like they use it in electronics. It puts out a frequency. It's a test equipment. So, like, you know, you can use this as a really high-end parasite zapper. You can actually take Hulda Clark's parasite zapper at 30,000 hertz, and you could dial that frequency in on this big-ass, well, it's not that big, and you can use it as a Hulda Clark parasite zapper. Well, she calls it a parasite zapper. Maybe that's not true or not, but you can make the same thing she built with one of these machines. So these things don't have to cost you a lot of money. These aren't Rife machines, but it's like they use these in electronic world all the time. I mean, it's the freaking same stupid thing. That's all I'm saying. You know, this is like $290. This is a better one than I got, but I wouldn't know how to use it. It's got too many knobs on it, so I'm a very simple person. I got one like this, and they're not really called Rife machines. They're called I don't know, what the hell is it called? I got the cheapest one, basically. You know, $400, $399, and you know, speed delivered. And I was using it today. You know, they tell you you're supposed to use a frequency for like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 90 seconds. I used it for about 4 or 5 hours. But you know, I don't really think I have too many pathogens in me, because I got no die-off reaction from any of these pathogens. Yeah, I did use it for about 4 or 5 hours. You know, foot paddles through the freaking torso and all this other garbage. This thing right here, and actually I'm going to show some videos on it. I'll probably show a little more about this. But I'm of the business like this. Keep it simple. This is like you put one frequency in on this thing, and that's it. You just do that. There's no like timer. You know, they give you a little stopwatch if you want to use it. They don't make any medical claims. They give you a book with it. You know, it's good if you want to. Let me put it this way: you can use it as a. You can also use this as the Hulda Clark zapper too. So, you know, whatever. So it does a couple things. It's probably not going to do everything in the world. So I went through this and I found this chart. This was actually a PDF document that was like 130 something pages, 135 pages, and it was difficult to get this in Excel to do some analysis, because actually, so I was going over like what's the real common frequencies they use. Like, in other words, they got this is like this first column here is Rife frequencies. You notice that I put up here 84 count. Like, in other words, that's a Excel formula in there that counts how many times something appears in this cell. So there was like 84 times it appeared in the cell, which means there's like 84 different diseases or something he's talking about, right? That's what Rife said. I know they say he's a quack, but we're just doing this for educational purposes, and I just want to make it simple, because if anything works on this damn thing, you got to get it down to like real simple. You don't want to go crazy with this garbage. And then there's other, there's other people that came out, Bear or DT, I don't know what the hell that is. And there's Turf. That's another guy that came out, wrote books. He works with electro herbalism or something .com, I think it is. And there's like umpteen frequencies, and it says 490 different ailments treated by the frequencies they have out there. And you notice, like, they're listing easily 20 times the amount of frequencies as Rife did originally, according to this chart, right? So, and then they got these, like, I got one of these, I don't know, you want to call it a Rife machine. It's like a frequency machine. But what they got these ones out there that they you spend thousands of dollars on. They could run like 200 different frequencies, 8 frequencies at a time, and it runs automatically, and there's a program and all this other garbage, I don't know, man, but I'm gonna tell you, like, the basics on this thing is, like, typically you would use 727, 787, and 880 for a lot of junk. So I did an analysis on that, and there's one other one, 465. It's a frequency. And Hulda Clark's parasite zapper, that's 30,000 hertz. Okay, so it's 30000, right? 4 zeros after 30,000 hertz. So if you're using 465 hertz on this machine, that's it's sold as a zapper. So if you might have like a cumbersome zapper, but the thing actually depends on how complicated you get with it. I'm just going to put this out for informational purposes. But 465 has 47, and this is an Excel formula in here, if you can't see it, but 47 different ailments they talk about, And let me put it this way. I was trying to get this more simplistic because there's so much out here with this information. Like, if you look at this full chart here, this thing, it has 400 got it more than that. What could I say here? It's 627 ailments it's addressing on this thing, okay? And I didn't think there was even that many kind of ailments out there. But I mean, they're not addressing specific microbes. They're talking like, basic ailments, so they got everything out here. I mean, they got it like, if you got acne, you could zap it out, and I don't know, everything out there in the world, right? So, obviously, what's on this chart, it doesn't work anywhere near as good as that. But my thought is I'm going to experiment with this a little bit. And I used it for several hours, so I figure I probably don't have viruses or parasites, because you're supposed to use it for 90 seconds to 3 minutes at it for one frequency. Maybe a session might last you 20 minutes. So I used it for like a 5-hour session, and I haven't had any reaction from die-off. So must be pretty. I guess that's that big zapper I use so much. There's nothing left. Anyway. But one thing Beck's zapper is kind of like weak on, and I'll put this out as alleged information, is that it doesn't get the fungal stuff that good. Like Candida, athlete's foot, and see this Rife, well, we'll call it the frequency 465. They even have it listed for back pain. I mean, that's, to me, I don't know. God. But I almost kind of, it's almost like it is too good to be true. It's almost like everything else out there, whoever's selling it pumps it up, whoever's, because, whatever the hell it is. But, they have it down for chronic fatigue syndrome. But it is good for a lot of, like, fungal issues. That it seems to work with. That's what it seems to work with pretty good. And often when there's 465, you'll have these very common cleansing frequencies, or they work for like all kinds of junk. 727, 787, and 880. So if you got a Rife, well, we won't call it a Rife machine, a frequency generator, and you wanted to use it as the Hulda Clark zapper, whatever the hell it is, you can just set it on at 30,000. And if you want to use it as the Canada fungal zapper, athlete's foot, I don't know if it really works. I don't like garbage, but I'm just trying to keep it real simple, to take the mystery out of Rife a little bit, and not try to, state it kills cancer or something, because cancer gets real complicated. But 465 has a number of uses, mainly with it really just, you could say that sums it up. Fungus, general. Canada, yeast, even athlete's foot, that type of stuff, but not guaranteed to work or anything like that. So, but often used with, and you can see these instances, 727, 787, and 880. So my intention is, when I use this device, I'll use the 465, and then I'll use the 727, 787, 880, and if I want to use a Hulda Clark zapper, just a parasite zapper, set it on 30,000. But it's got more capability than that. I mean, it even has a thing in here for Parkinson's or something for put it on 6,000. I don't know how effective all that is, But just to give you an idea, that if you were to experiment with something like this, it's like a real souped up zapper, basically, if you want to think of it that way, rather than a Rife machine. Supposedly, all parasites have this frequency that damages them. So, like, if you just use this machine in any haphazard manner, you can actually damage your good bacteria in your stomach too. It's possible to do that, right? You don't want to. You want to actually follow. And actually, to me, I used it for several hours on 727, 787, and 880, right? So in 727 frequency, there's 129 instances, and I'm using the not the Rife frequencies, the one that's from electro-herbalism. He used it's 129 ailments it supposedly addresses, right? So it's going through all these ailments, right? So if you look at what is 787, and the other cleansing, a common one that's a lot of people supposedly start with, it addresses 124 ailments. 880 addresses 141 ailments. Then I tried to find where 727, 787, and 880 was used together, and I used it. I used formulas and things. It's 105 ailments. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's got So these are the common ones to use. So if you're going to use it like other ways. I mean, I don't know. That's how I'm using it. So, but if you're going to use this, like they say, to use it for like 90 seconds or 2 minutes on the frequency, then go to the next frequency. It's like a zapper, but it's like you got a lot more zappers in one. But you can't just use any one of these stupid, I'll call them stupid frequencies, because sometimes I wonder, this can't do all this. No way in hell. I think someday in the future, 100 years from now, yeah, they will. They'll have it all figured out. But, but it may be kind of useful to some people, because for one, you do have your Hulda Clark parasite zapper in here. And Hulda Clark, who said she cured all diseases in that book, and cancer, she died of cancer, right? So I mean, I don't like when people exaggerate, but I think her stuff was useful too. I think Bob Beck's stuff was far more useful. Actually, Bob Beck has one blood electrifier, and that's it. Now, in the one case, where Bob Beck's stuff doesn't fall short is on his fungal issue stuff. So you can use his 465, and it ain't going to address all this stuff, because they're talking about how many ailments here, 47, right? So it's it does Candida, it does like general fungus. Those are ones that are pretty solid. It's supposed to do pretty good. supposedly even athlete's foot. I got doubts on all this stuff, to tell you the truth. But you know, if you're gonna, it's in other words, you got 20 zillion zappers all in one with something like this. It's not a true Rife machine, but just to keep it simple, um, you know, if you're gonna actually use this for, whatever, 727, 787, 880 are very common. And you notice when you use, there's like 100, how many? I guess that's 105 ailments it addresses. That's, obviously a major exaggeration, but it's something that if you believe this actually will vibrate a parasite into oblivion, those three are pretty good to use. For fungal issues in Canada, 465 is a good one to use. Plus, it has a gazillion other frequencies out there, but just don't use it and put a frequency on and experiment for yourself. You should use the chart, but these charts are very confusing. So, finding a chart like this that was actually in a PDF document, and it took me some hours of work to put this in an Excel document, has made it much more easy to analyze, because when I use this device, I am not running any programs, I'm not running any timers. I am just sticking with the most common stuff there is, and it looks like, I probably don't have too many parasites or anything, because just like with the Bob Beck blood electrification, when you start out, you got to start out slow, 15 minutes or something. I just used this for 5 hours and I don't even have a reaction from it. So, all the Bob Beck electrification I've done probably has cleared everything out of there. But this has more things in it than the Bob Beck device. It's just that it's more complicated. And like I said, I put this chart out, like I made this chart to make it more understandable for me. How many times, because the more common frequencies are 727, 787, and 880. And so they are typically work together many times, and you start with 880, then you go to 887 to 87 and 727. This thing lists all this stuff, run all these frequencies. I'm like, whatever, man, whatever. But personally, that's not how I'm going to use it. So, see here it says athlete's foot. Now probably it has 460. Well, it has 464 in it, which is very close to 465. Which is, 464 is for Canada and general fungus. Athlete's foot is 464. I don't know if this would work, but it's better than buying a whole bunch of different zappers if you're into this stuff. So that's my point. So anyway, it's probably a cost saver, and like I said, I only paid $400 for one, but it's a manual one. It's kind of like, you get in a car, it doesn't have automatic transmission. You got to roll up, you got to roll up the windows. It doesn't have automatic locking doors. You probably have to use the windshield wipers by hand. This probably doesn't even have an electric switch on it. It probably has a handle. You got to use that. But that's basically how I got this. Basically, it's a souped up. It's a frequency generator, but basically it's a souped up zapper with a lot more settings. So for $3.99, it's like having a bunch of zappers all in one. But you have to understand, what to do. And like, if you're looking up a Rife table, you're going to get confused as all hell, because I was looking this up for weeks, and I finally found a PDF document. It wasn't an Excel document. It took me hours to put this damn thing in Excel. I have Adobe Professional Converter, and it doesn't put it into Excel. It puts it into Word and tables. Then I had to cut and paste all the tables into this damn thing, filter out all the junk, so I could actually figure out, how many times did they use 465. That's a good frequency. 727, 787, 880. Those are good frequencies, generally speaking. Now, 465 is more for fungal issues, like I said, supposedly, allegedly. 727, 787, and 880 address a lot of garbage, okay? So, like, they're used together a lot, so you can see there's 105 ailments out there. So, you know, it's a pretty decent thing. And if you want to set it on 31,000, you got to hold a Clark zapper, which I don't know. So anyway, just putting that out for informational purposes. You know, it's not really a Rife machine. It's a frequency generator. But it's not bad. It's not bad in my opinion anyway. So just to take some of the mystery out of things. And you know, they don't sell it as a Rife machine. You know, they don't sell it as a Rife machine. But that's the, you know, that's the other thing. You know, this one's kind of associated with home health or something. You know, even if home health was banned by the FDA or something, you know, this place here on the NT scope, it's like these are, it's a frequency generator. Now this thing's got too many knobs and buttons on it. It's probably a lot better than the one I got, but I don't understand how to use it, so I'm not going to mess with it anyway. So that's one of my reasons for getting something the other one. But you know, that's the whole deal. It's not going to ever be illegal. It's only illegal when they call it a Rife machine. And it's, you know, the thing I got is not a Rife machine. It's a frequency generator, and you dial in the frequencies that Royal Rife said thinks works. But like I said, I was trying to keep it simple. You know, 465 is a good fungal issue thing supposedly. And 727, 787, and 880 work together for a lot of different issues, so they might not be bad to use. Say you're, and then you know, 31,000 is you know, the Hulda Clark parasite zapper frequency, and she's got another one out there. So you just look up whatever the hell it is, you dial the machine on that, and you got the same thing. So to me, you know, $400 you buy a zapper here and there. It's like 150, 150, 200, whatever the hell it is. You buy 3 zappers for 150 each, or one's, well, say 2 are 150 and one's 200. It's $500. It's more than a machine already, right? That's how I look at it. But it's not a Beck zapper. That's the thing. I don't think it is anyway. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to set it on that. But you know, you're supposed to, when you use that device, you know, you're supposed to use it 2 minutes or whatever the hell it is. And if you're running like 4 frequencies, you do them like, I don't know, 3 minutes each or something. That's supposedly the common knowledge. So you might be doing 12 minutes. I just did 5 hours and I didn't even have a reaction. So I don't know. I guess all the Beck zapping I've done means I don't have any. Probably got like that pure blood or something for all I know. Anyway, over and out. Just trying to make Rife or whatever the hell it is he did, and all these electromagnetic people, Bob Beck, Hulda Clark, kind of make it more understandable, because these what do you call? You're not supposed to call that a Rife machine. If you sell it as a Rife machine, it's like they kill you or something, right? It's a frequency generator, but using these frequencies is like, you know, if you just keep it simple, stupid, that's the way I look at it. You know, that's what you want to do. And you don't want to just be dialing in some wacky frequency. Someday in the future, you're going to use frequencies for bad things. You're probably like weaponize it and turn people into marshmallows inside of freaking 3 seconds with weaponized frequencies, for all I know. I think they probably already got that, you know. So anyway, over and out. I just want to figure out, try to explain this Rife stuff a little more. I think it's a cool idea. So and it's something novel, because I don't think anybody on YouTube even goes over this in a simplistic way. They confuse the hell out of people, you know, and then they tell people it's like a la-di-da, he did this, and who cares? You want to use it? It's a frequency generator. You keep it simple, stupid. That's all I have to say. You know, use 50. I don't know. I would just keep it simple. That's my thought.